Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Sydney from PhoneDoc.com, and I'm here with the LG Optimus M and the Samsung Galaxy Prevail. Now both of these phones are available from prepaid carriers, the Optimus M from Metro PCS and the Galaxy Prevail from Boost Mobile. They're both mid-range Android smartphones. They ship with Android 2.2, but which one is better? We're going to put them head to head, compare both of them, and see which one comes out the winner. The Optimus M, like I said, is from Metro PCS. It's $229. The Galaxy Prevail is from Boost Mobile and it's $179. So there's a price difference there, but is it worth it to pay more for the Optimus M? Well, we'll find out in this dogfight. I'm Sydney from PhoneDoc.com. Let's go check it out. So moving on to a little bit about media, both of them have somewhat, subpar cameras, mid-range devices. So the Optimus M and all of the Optimus One phones have a 3.2 megapixel camera. The Samsung Prevail has a 2 megapixel camera, fixed focus, which is, in my opinion, very inadequate. Even for a mid-range device in this price range, I still think 2 megapixel fixed focus is basically what you would get with a really cheap feature phone, which I don't think is good enough for a mid-range smartphone. Now, again, like I said, the Optimus M has a 3.2 megapixel camera, and it does have an autofocus, which instantly makes it, 10 times better. And, testing both cameras, picture quality is what you would expect. 2 megapixel fixed focus camera, obviously the pictures are going to be grainy, blurry, just overall, very poor quality camera. 3 megapixel, autofocus is not much better, but when comparing it to what you get with the Prevail, it is actually a lot better. Again, the pictures were still somewhat grainy. They weren't always perfect, but at least having that autofocus, it helps, and so it is able to focus. It's not blurry, and the pictures are decent. Still nothing that's really going to impress you or knock your socks off. But it was better than what you get on the Prevail. So 3 megapixel autofocus camera, 2 megapixel fixed focus. That's an easy one. The Optimus definitely wins. And like I said, all of the Optimus phones have the same camera. Also, they do both capture video, VGA video capture, QVGA video capture, so this one is going to be better quality, but not by much. It's still not really anything worth talking about. You're not going to use a video captured through this to upload to YouTube or anything. Now, of course, they do both support Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. Now, both of these phones are 3G phones. The only difference is that the Prevail is EVDO Rev A, whereas the Optimus M is EVDO Rev 0. And this is not the same for all of the Optimus devices, so this again is Optimus M only. So while they are both 3G, both EVDO, the Prevail is a more updated version. It's going to be faster, whereas the Optimus M is slower. I don't know why Metro PCS hasn't upgraded their 3G network. It seems they decided to just kind of skip it altogether and go to 4G. Again, like I said, it is still 3G, but it's slower. It's that 1x that you see whenever you use phones that are supposedly 3G, but the data is really slow. It's that 1x that you see, just for people that don't know what the Rev A and Rev 0 are. So, both 3G, but really slow. With the Optimus, it's really difficult to use without Wi-Fi. If I'm out on the road and I'm not near a Wi-Fi hotspot, it's really, because it's slow, it just doesn't respond very well. And so I really, in terms of programs that require data like web browsing or, if I want to read news, I really only do that if I'm connected to Wi-Fi, because that 3G or barely 3G is just not fast enough. Whereas with the Prevail, you are getting full 3G speeds. Now, I'm going to add a disclaimer to that I've always experienced slower 3G speeds with prepaid carriers. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's just the quality or the number of towers that they have. And so while the Prevail is full 3G Rev A, it's still slower than normal 3G on a nationwide or on a larger carrier like AT&T or Sprint. And so speeds still were not excellent, but at the same time they were generally better than what I got with the Optimus M. And so with 3G data, the Prevail wins. They do both support Wi-Fi, so you have that option. Now both phones have a micro SD card slot. The Prevail has it on the outside, which is nice. It's hot swappable. You can take it out without having to remove the battery. It ships with a 2 GB card. The phone supports up to 32 GB, which is nice that it ships with the card. The Optimus M also ships with the card, and it's a 2 GB card, but it's underneath the battery cover here, and also supports up to 32 GB. So that's something that I think both phones have going for them. You know, mid-range phones, sometimes they don't ship with a card, or you know, they don't support a whole lot of memory or a whole lot of expandable memory. But here it's the same, 2 gigs, and then it supports up to 32. Now I took off the battery cover. I'll take it off again so we can talk a little bit about the battery. Both of them have actually decent battery life. They both ship with a 1500 milliamp hour battery, and I noticed that both of these had better battery life than most Android devices. Now again, most Android phones will last at most a day with, you know, light to normal use, and then if you're using it a lot, it probably won't last you a full day. You'll have to charge it like maybe when you get home from work. With these, I can use it all day, somewhat, you know, normally lightly, but even if I'm not using it a whole lot, you can see I still have a lot of widgets running in the background. I have a sports widget, I have this clock widget, I usually have a weather widget even though I don't have it running right now, and then same thing with this, the clock widget, the sports widget. So even if I'm not using it, I still have a lot of programs running in the background, but I can still use it for a day, and at the end of the day there'll still be like 40 or 30% left, which is, you know, obviously you're going to have to charge it, but you know, at least you know that it is actually going to get you through an entire day and you won't have to worry about it, which is nice. You can't say that about every Android phone, and so definitely very impressive there. Same milliamp hours, same 1500 milliamp hour battery, and so I was very impressed with the battery life on both of these. Now the Optimus M is on Metro PCS, and the Galaxy Prevail is on Boost Mobile, and so we'll talk a little bit about pricing. The Optimus M is $229. The Samsung Prevail is $179. Obviously no contract, these are both from prepaid carriers. And so the Galaxy Prevail is obviously cheaper. It's about $50 cheaper than the Optimus M. And then you have plan pricing to consider. Metro PCS, their plans, you can get one for as low as $40 a month, and that's unlimited talk, text, and web. They have other plans for more, but you do still get unlimited talk, text, and web for the $40. And then Boost Mobile is $50 a month. Again, they have more expensive plans, but that low price, $50, is still unlimited talk, text, and web. So in the short run, you know, short term, the Optimus M is more expensive, $50 more expensive, but in the long run, the plans are cheaper. It's $40 compared to $50. And, you know, and I think that really makes it worth it, you know, $10 less per month. Within 5 months, you know, you'll make up that $50. Not only that, but the real thing that really makes me decide between these two phones and which one is better is what I talked about earlier with the processor and the lag. It wasn't terrible. Like I said, it wasn't terrible with the Prevail, but it was something that I noticed and something that I had to deal with on a consistent basis, whether it was a big deal or not, or whether it lasted for a long time or not. It is something that I had to deal with on a consistent basis, whereas with the Optimus M, no problems at all, no lag, never froze. I never had any problem like that. And so to me, the Optimus M is better for that reason. Also, it's cheaper per month. You get a better camera, you know, even though it's still not anything amazing, it is definitely better than what you get on the Prevail. And then, you know, I like LG's custom UI. It's not very heavy, but it adds just enough to give it a certain flavor. And then if you don't like custom UIs, again, it's not very heavy. So I'm going to say the Optimus M is the better phone. Now, if you're thinking about the Optimus V from Virgin Mobile, I've had a lot of people ask me about that versus the Prevail. I would say the same thing. The Optimus V has stock Android, so you're getting, you know, this look with this phone. But still, you know, I would say the same thing about any Optimus phone, whether it's this one or the one from any other carrier. They both performed better than I would say than the Prevail. So for me, the winner is the Optimus M, or whichever Optimus phone you're thinking of. Though, you know, if you want to stick with Boost Mobile, if you just love their service, the Prevail wasn't terrible. It's just not as good as the Optimus. So there it is, guys. Optimus versus Prevail. The Optimus wins. Keep it on phonedog.com. We're going to have obviously tons more reviews, updates, and news, of course. Check out our Facebook page for a chance to win an iPad 2 or other cool smartphones. If you'd like to follow me on Twitter, my screen name is It's My Job to Know, and you can ask me any questions. I'll try to answer them as soon as I can. But anyway, I'm Sydney from phonedog.com. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later.